y'all just saw me. um, my name is Rowdy Fuentes, as y'all know. I'm also running for treasurer. Um, I suppose speaking specifically about this role, as I said with my previous nomination, I have plenty of experience when it comes to like fundraising and stuff like that. I know what it's like when you're like dealing with a budget and trying to make profit, managing sort of like the financial aspects of things. I've done various different events with like different groups and stuff throughout like my life. I'm currently actually doing a personal sort of sale with my mother, who's selling chocolates, if anyone's interested, for Thanksgiving break, and just because I am indeed, like many of you, a college student, and I am indeed in need of money. But yeah, and so with that necessity throughout time comes the experience of how to get the cash you need. There isn't a whole lot that I haven't said already from my previous nomination. So I think I'll leave it at that.
What are your thoughts on the elected sales we have, and is there anything you would do to change them?
They're super fun. I think from what I heard of like the first one, unfortunately I had a calc test that I had to study for, so I wasn't able to be there. But from what I heard of the first one is like you guys sold out. If I remember correctly, y'all like sold out. Y'all also got like a line going on. So if anything, it would all just be about crowd control at that point. Just trying to like cut the amount of time people are waiting in line. But as far as like what you're selling, like it seems like a lot of people like it, and if you're selling out, then there's no issue with that. Perhaps trying to push those margins, I don't know, but that would indeed trying to push those margins would mean either selling for a longer amount of time, which means that you would have to set up a system of like actual rotating shifts maybe, or as well as like expanding the amount of like supply that you have, right? Because there's always that thing about like if you want more profit, you need more investment. So I mean, with the elected sale specifically, it seems that it goes really well. I wouldn't change too much of it unless we're just trying to like kind of like push those numbers a little further. Like I said, like that crowd control, perhaps, like if you're getting a line going, trying to make sure that people are like leaving as soon as they're coming in, just so that nobody in line gets tired of waiting, right? Because then that is one cup lost, right? But as far as like what you're selling, like a lot of people seem to like it, and people were dancing and stuff that I heard of. So y'all are doing really well with calling the attraction to what you're selling. So that's my take on that.
What are your ideas for fundraisers, or how to attain sponsorships for mines?
As far as sponsorships go, I think as far as sponsorships goes, that would I don't know specifically. I don't know how much of that would be. Well, I think it would incorporate myself a whole lot. But as far as sponsorship goes, it really would just be about like reaching out as much as we can, as well as gaining as much popularity as we can. So I think that's something that I would indeed work on as like a treasurer, but also something that I think would have to be very collaborative, because it would take like looking at a list of like what possible sponsors we could reach out to, as well as like like expanding our reputation in order so that sponsors are interested in us, right? Because to gain a sponsor it's all going to be about interest, and that's a different kind of investment, because it's an investment of interest, and you're selling yourself in popularity to the sponsor, So that's going to be something that's a lot more collaborative probably, but also something that, yeah, for sure, it would be a lot of phone calls also, so, which, yeah.
If you were to become the vice president of events,
Mhm.
how would you collaborate with the treasurer in that position?
Any social event and whatnot probably requires funding. And so I would imagine that there has to be a great deal of coordination because you can only plan as many events as you can afford, right? So it would also have to be a collaboration in like within these social events, we need to also like be promoting the next fundraising event so that we have people participating in both and not just one. And so in that sort of circumstance, there would be a lot of collaboration as well, you know, because once more, it's like that, the more people we can get helping in the fundraisers, the more grandiose, so to speak, we can make social events, and the more people we can get interest there, and then that cycle kind of keeps going. Yes?
How,
We can go ahead and ask one more question.
My favorite color is blue.
how
All right.
has your experience as a membership committee member or
Membership coordinator?
membership coordinator position as a committee member best suits, in your opinion, does it best suit the treasurer position or VP of events?
Ooh, interesting. Membership coordinator helps in both, probably because membership coordinator is all about keeping track of attendance. It's all about keeping track of like statistics, whether on who's participating where. Because membership coordinator, you're looking at all the events, right? And you're assigning points accordingly to all the events, depending to see who is participating in all of the events, or who is participating. So, with like the membership coordinator background currently, I would say it's kind of like an even match because you can easily see who's helping more in fundraising, and then also who's like participating much more in like social events and stuff like that. So you can see like who is interested in what, and you can kind of, and that would also allow me to basically, you can look at those two lists and be like, this person is only participating in mostly fundraising. Why is that? You know, is there a lack of interest in like the social events? Are they like maybe nervous? Like what's going on? Maybe we can reach out to these people and see what would make the social events more intriguing to them. And vice versa. You can do the same with the social events for those who only participate in mostly socials, and you don't see them much at like the fundraising things. So yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Oh,